Have you ever found yourself lying awake in the dead of night, just staring into the pitch black of your room? Your eyes suddenly lock onto this weird shape in the corner, and your heart just starts hammering. Is someone actually there? Or is it maybe just a coat hanging exactly where it shouldn't be? We've all been there, right? Trapped in that terrifying little space where your imagination completely hijacks your reality.
Welcome back! Today we're doing a serious deep dive into the architecture of modern dread. We'll be deconstructing the incredibly cinematic alternative rock track, Children of Phobos. We're going to map out human paranoia by looking at 4 key parts: the anatomy of fear, meet Phobos and Deimos, shadows into teeth, and finally, the ultimate monster. So let's unpack exactly how this absolute masterclass in psychological horror captures those midnight terrors we all know so well.
Okay, let's dive into this. Part 1. The anatomy of fear. We're looking at the physical and psychological symptoms of midnight terror. The way this song perfectly captures that creeping, visceral onset of paranoia right from the very first verse is just wild.
I mean, just look at these highly specific lyrical details. You've got a man with bandages whispering your name, phantom hallways smelling of burning paper, and unseen movement behind the walls. This perfectly mimics the sensory overload of an actual anxiety attack. You're getting all these frantic warning signals, but you've completely lost your grip on what's actually real.
And that sudden loss of reality brings us right to Section 2. Meet Phobos and Deimos, the ancient roots of modern dread. Because to really understand the chorus here, we absolutely have to look at the Greek mythology that anchors the whole narrative.
So, Phobos and Deimos, they are the ancient Greek mythological twin deities of fear, panic, and dread. Basically, the sons of Ares, the god of war. But the track uses these ancient gods as brilliant metaphors for a very modern experience. It tells us that when panic hits, reason leaves without goodbye. It's that exact moment your logic just shuts down. The ancient gods of panic have basically taken the wheel, and your rational mind has just quietly exited the room.
And it brilliantly illustrates what happens next. The lyrics say, "Children of Deimos, children of dread, dreaming with open eyes instead." It means being trapped in a literal waking nightmare. It's that horrible state where every silence suddenly feels alive, and every dark corner of your house is just breathing. You're awake, sure, but your brain is totally operating under dream logic. Which brings us to Section 3, Shadows into Teeth. This is the psychological core of the song's second verse, where we explore the phenomenon of pareidolia, how the mind desperately connects what just isn't there. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast it shows between reality and hallucination. In the real world, it's mundane, just broken lights, an empty church, maybe a coat hanging. But your panicked imagination, it fabricates people praying in animal masks, a crying woman, a man with a rifle in the mist. The song is showing us, in real time, how a terrified brain can spin these incredibly elaborate, horrifying stories out of absolutely nothing. And then the bridge hits. The panic fully sets in as the lyrics barrage you with these escalating questions. Who buried the photographs? Who opened the attic door? Who keeps scratching at the ceiling at 4:30? Why are there footsteps above the basement floor? It's designed to visually and audibly overwhelm you, perfectly mimicking a panic attack where the tension just winds tighter and tighter. Until the music completely breaks, and you get this spoken section. There. Did you see that? No, not there. Behind you. It brings the atmospheric tension of the whole track to its absolute suffocating peak. Okay, take a breath. We've survived the panic of the bridge, and that guides us into our fourth and final section, the ultimate monster. Now we're going to dive into the third verse to discover the true source of all this horror. We get this incredible sequence where the narrator is driving down a dark highway. In the first second, he sees a man standing beside the highway in the pouring rain. Second 2, he turns to look a little closer at the mysterious figure. And then, second 3, the realization hits. There was nothing there, except his own reflection. This is the exact lyrical moment the haunting is revealed to be a total illusion. The crucial point is what is completely absent from the final chorus. There are no claws, there are no monsters, no ancient curses. All the supernatural elements are totally abandoned. And what is present? Just human minds at their worst. The song makes it clear that our own psychology is the real villain here. And that brings us to the philosophical outro of the track. Think about the modern status of these ancient deities. Ares, the god of war, basically sleeps now. He's no longer needed. But his sons, Phobos and Deimos, the gods of fear, they remain. They are thriving on our imagination. we realize that fear has completely outgrown the need for physical battlefields.
It leaves us with this incredibly chilling final lyric. Fear needs no armies, only imagination, and we have plenty. It's just such a dark, cinematic reality to face. The human mind is literally a self-sustaining engine of terror. It manufactures its own ghosts.
So, as we wrap up this analysis, let's unpack the very thought this song provokes. If fear needs no armies and only relies on the power of human imagination, what are you creating in the dark right now? Next time you see a shadow shift in the corner of your room, ask yourself, is it really there, or are you just feeding the children of Phobos? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. I'll catch you in the next one.